nikiongozwa, kunishika kwa mkono wake wa haki, nitaandamana naye, Kristo aniongozaye. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you've subscribed, welcome back. Let's get back into it. So today we're going to talk about the strength of a lady or of a woman. I'd like the young ladies to know that they're very strong from the inside. They just need a little bit of knowledge and to know what to do with these strengths so that they can use it for the betterment of their lives. So welcome. I said, we're going to speak about the strength of a lady or of a woman, and with this we're going to start with the verse about beauty so that we may know how the Lord intends our beauty to reflect on our lives. And with this we're going to read 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 6. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry and fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. For this is the way the holy women of the past, who put their hope in God, used to adorn themselves. They submitted to themselves to their own husbands. So with this verse, it tells us that the Lord intends for our beauty not only to be seen in the outside, but in the inside also, that we should be pure of heart, we should be humble, we should always be helpful to one another, so that our beauty may be shown in this kind of way. Because when we understand how our beauty helps us, then it is easy for us to understand the strength within us, so that we may not depend on the looks so much and forget who we are in the inside. So with this we are going also to check 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19, which tells us that our bodies are the temples of the Holy Spirit, because the Lord made us to be for Him. So we are not for ourselves, but we are for Him, so that we may use these bodies to protect them, and we may use them in good ways to praise the Lord or to work within the works of the Lord. Because we know that we were not created for ourselves, we belong not to ourselves, but to the Lord. And with this, we check the point of femininity, which are the qualities or attributes regarding as characteristics of a woman. So the qualities are like good behaviors that we have been taught from home. You know that when we are small, we are taught how to clean, how to make the house look good, how to know how to cook, how to take care of the young ones, how to actually be a woman in the house. Because this is very strong for us. When we know how we can conduct ourselves in the inside, then we will know the roles we play inside the family, and we will also understand the roles that we are supposed to play in the society. And for this, we know that in Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 that God created us human beings on the 6th day, and He said that we are beautiful. He gave us mandate over each and everything that He had created, and He told us to have rules over it, and He gave us the right to procreate. So we are supposed to be continuing to create with God, and we are also blessed. He said that we are also blessed, so we should always feel like we are blessed and we are a greater person, because the Lord made us in His own image. With this, we're going to learn also the importance of understanding ourselves as women. This is the point that I've said, that we will be able to play the roles that we are needed to play in our families, which is like being clean, showing respect to other parents. You know, we have been taught that parents are not only the people who gave birth to us, but they are anyone who is older to the age of our parents. Those are all our parents. So we are supposed to respect and show them help, show them good, qualities that our parents have bestowed on us. And with this also, we're supposed to be like what to say, and the young ones are looking up to us, so we're supposed to look like role models. If, like myself, I am older than my sister, so I'm supposed to carry myself well so that my sister may have a role model to look up to. So ladies, it is very, very important that you understand that each and every step you take, someone else is following behind you. They are going to check on what you're doing, even if it's not your direct blood sister. Most of us that are your cousins, or we are related in one way or another, or we know you from somewhere, or we have seen you in school or in church, we look up to these ladies. And so the ladies in the family, they are supposed to be very respectful. They should always carry themselves very well, always looking clean, and we should dress very well so that each and everything that we put out there, we can be respected for it. Because everyone judges people according to the way, the first impression is how you look on the outside. So if you look good on the outside, that's meaning you have dressed well, you respect yourself enough to dress well in front of others, then people are going to show you their respect. And with this, you're going to continue learning about yourself, to know how much strength you have inside you, how much respect you can always command from others. And with this, we're going to the second point, that to be able to play our roles in the society. And as we're growing old, we're expected to help around, to show others what they're supposed to do, to lead them. There's a lot of things, to sympathize with them. And as I said before, we are supposed to carry ourselves with dignity and respect, as always. And as we grow older, we know that responsibilities are continuing to add, and we're supposed to always show that we can always come up to these things that we are supposed to do, because it is not hard, and most of the people, they have gone through it. So we will also conquer. Do not give up. Another thing is also to understand that we are created to be very gentle as ladies. We are created to be humble. We are created to be very sensitive, very emotional, and very empathetic. So when you understand that you should be very gentle, you should not be ranting on others. You should learn to maintain a peaceful and calm, yani kitu unaonyesha nje, you are supposed to carry yourself kama you are very gentle. So we are also learning how to be humble as we grow older. You're not supposed to be always very arrogant. You're supposed to listen first before you talk, and you're supposed to analyze whatever. And that we're the backbone that holds things together. Even here in the world, we are a lot of help in this world. You know that we will not be having a lot of people like this if it's not for the women. So a woman's strength, number one, comes from the courage we have within us. And this we're going to read from Esther chapter 4 verse 16, in which, about the story of Esther, we know that Esther was married to be a queen. And with this, she helped all the Jews not to be killed, because she had the courage to go into the chambers of the king to explain the wants of her heart. And Esther showed a lot of courage, because it was not allowed for women to visit the men inside their chambers. But Esther took the courage, and she actually said, if it is death, let me die. But she tried her best, and at last things went very well, and all the Jews, they were spared, and they became very victorious. So with this, we know that when we have courage within us, we always do things that are more bigger than ourselves. Like in our country, we have big women, people like Professor Wangari Maathai, ladies like Janet Mbugua, who did a lot of big stuff in our country, like our First Lady Margaret Kenyatta. She has actually helped a lot of counties by building clinics for these people to be able to acquire medical services. And with this, there's a lot of women like Njoki Ndongo, Tabitha Karanja, and Lupita Nyong'o, who we are very proud of. So I want you small ladies or young girls to know that there's a lot of strength in us, and when we just take the first step of courage to do the things that we know are right to do, and we have the passion to do them, then you can create a lot of big things in this world. You can become whoever you want to be, but it all starts with one step at a time. So the second thing that we said we're going to talk about is independence, the feeling of independence. We have always seen that whenever you give someone freedom, that's when you know who they are. Like for us, because when we are younger, we stay under our parents, we try our best to listen. Sometimes we're very hard-headed, we don't listen. But when we're given the freedom after our 18th year, that's when we start learning what life is. That's when we start unfolding why our parents were telling us to stay away from this, stay away from that. And from the independence that we gain by ourselves, we learn a lot, and we tend to want to use this freedom for the betterment of our lives. So do not be that person that when you're given freedom, you go and try all the hard things in this world. Not actually hard, bad, all the bad things in this world, and you don't get the chance to express yourself. So independence helps us to express what we have inside us, like the courage to move on after you have just made the first step to what you want to do. Then you feel more independent when you have a space and you have a channel to show or to showcase whatever you have inside you. So the third thing that we said we are going to talk about is striving to survive. We can see that in our country also there's a lot of poor people. We have a lot of poverty in some areas, but these ladies that are holding these houses, they are not giving up. You can find that someone is very poor, they're having a lot of children, and they're actually not having a lot to live with. But with this, you find that the ladies in these homes, or the women that are giving birth, they're able to survive. They strive each and every day. You try to work. You can find others that even they don't have anything to do. Yani hauna hata certificate, you don't even have a certificate to go to look for a job, but you try your best each and every day, because we need to strive. We are very strong from the inside. You can overcome the emotional trauma that comes along. You can overcome the financial problems that we face even in our country today. And that is why I feel like it's very, very good for us to understand that no matter what, we will always have a way out, because the Lord has our backs and He knows the reason to why everything happens to the way it happened. So each and every time when you have hope and when you think that you're almost going to give up, just think that the Lord knows the end before the beginning starts. So with this, I want also to talk about the backbone, because we know that there's a lot of parents or single mothers are out there, and they have been struggling, and we have a lot of children right now that they're coming to us and they're saying, may I've been brought up by my single mother, and from now they have loved the way they lived, and they have seen the strength within this woman, and this gives them the hope, the courage. Most of us are pushed by the way our parents have lived their lives, so this helps us to have a better alignment of the future that we have. And so I'd like us to know, us as all young ladies, that we are very strong. We just need a little bit of help, and that's why I started this journey, so that each and every small or young girl that is striving with something, you can always comment or tell me the things that you'd like us to talk about, and we will always get into it, because we need to help each other, because we are the backbone of this world or generation. Another thing is that when we love ourselves, we portray the better version of ourselves. Like when I take my time to do my makeup, to make up my hair, to dress well, this portrays the goodness inside of me. And as we have been told in 1 Peter chapter 3, that our beauty should not always come from outside, but how you look in the outside, it tells us more about who you are in the inside. So this gives me a lot of power, because when I look good, I feel good, and when I feel good, I act very good, and everything around me, I feel like, goes very well. Yeah. Yes. So we are all very beautiful, and we need to see it, we need to believe it, we need to feel it inside our hearts, and we need to let it out. And from this we will read Romans chapter 12 and verse 3. Romans chapter 12 and verse 3. Romans chapter 12 verse 3. And it says, For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. So we should not also think that we're better than others. We should just strive, yani unang'ang'ana kukuwa the better version of you, si eti unapingana na wenzako. Yes, there is number 1, 2 and 3. There will always be number 1 and number last in this world, but you can become the number last, and you have done your best. This is what we are talking about, that you should not think of yourself better than others, or because you're doing well in one area and another person is not exceeding very well, then you should think that I am better than them because wow, hawafanyangi vizuri shuleni. So this is not good. This is not the image that we should have. We should always strive to be the better part of ourselves. That is what we should struggle every day to show out. And with this, I would love to leave you with this song that tells us that according to the knowledge and the will of God. I'll just sing it for you. It goes like, according to your knowledge and your will for me, what you say you have done, I just need to align, oh, because you are not a man that changes your mind, oh, those that know you will trust in you, not in horses and chariots, but the arm of flesh no one can prevail. So I'd like you to ponder on that. Always know that the Lord always has a better plan for us, plan to build us and never to destroy us. He is faithful. If you trust in Him, you put your plans right, and He says always that we should put in Him the thoughts that we have first. Each and every plan that you make by yourself, you should first of all give it to God, so that God will make it come true unto you. Thank you. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, and have a good one. Stay blessed, love yourself, and always